welcome back, Twitch. So you on our last stream, you saw us go through real time Sino's Donjon Rush for Arabia Extreme AI HD on Age of Empires 2. So we are back with Sino right now. We're gonna go step by step through the build order. This is gonna be a build order tutorial for the Donjon Rush. So thanks for sticking around, Sino. Good to have you.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so let me get into here our game. And do you have anything to say before I hit play?
No, I mean, I guess the only thing would be this is just regular-ish build order for what we have done thus far. So, the usual Dark Age is pretty usual for the most part.
To one house, one to the second, claiming those sheep. I'm sure. Yep, you're sending them sheep over here. This is what you did different from what we've normally done in Arena. You didn't move all the sheep.
Oh yeah, correct. Yeah.
But because we can get into more detail about that in a moment, for our viewers that are new to build order strategy, what he's doing is he's queued his home builders to the first sheep he brought into his town center, and he's queuing all of his newly built and queued villagers to that same sheep. Now, Sino,
there's a network error for your OBS or for your Twitch.
What's that?
There's a network error.
Oh my gosh, I'm dropping frames like crazy. Let's pause.
Yeah, it's like freezing up and stuff, and it dropped a second ago. Let's see.
Is it dropped altogether?
Yeah, it's just spinning right now. It's just frozen.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's showing me offline.
Yeah, it says there was a network error. Please try again.
Ooh. Click here to reload player. Are we back? Are we live again? Are we working? Are we here?
No, still broken.
Well. Okay, I'm seeing on my end I had a internet error. I'm back up to full internet capacity now, so the stream should start smoothing out. How are we doing?
It says game pause.
The game is paused.
Yep.
But
okay, then I guess we're okay.
Can you see me talking? Can you see me moving?
Yeah.
My cam good?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. So where did we lose the audience, Sino?
So yeah, I guess we're at the point where we're getting the sheep, and you can see that once this guy is going towards, we're on the 7th villager going to get the wood. He's going to build that house first.
So this guy right here.
Yep, and it's still spinning. I don't know if you unpaused or not, but I'm getting the spinning wheel of death here.
I haven't unpaused the game because we're still talking about the frame.
Okay.
So as long
right now all the animals are getting killed like normal. So we have the 6 on the one sheep, and you can see that one villager walking over to that bush as we speak.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As long as my picture-in-picture is still rolling smooth, then we've still got good play. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play on the game. We'll take this to the next step. So now we've got, like you said, Villager 7, house to wood. Villager 8 should be popping out soon. Like a Catholic baby. Here we go. So he went to wood. So you're redirecting him. You found your berries. I'm assuming he's eventually going to go mill.
Yep, that's where he shift queued. Well, no, this guy is shift queued to go back to that bush. Yep. The next guy that comes out is supposed to go to the mill, which is why that got weird. But that was just for a second. I know that he's going to go to the mill.
Yep, and you're drawing those sheep in. Now, also, while this is all going on, these guys, you're still using, you've got them shift queued to explore still, it looks like.
Yes.
I'm guessing now that you've brought your last sheep in from over here, you're going to draw one of them over, unless you're moving these over. I don't know. We'll see. Let's watch it play out. Oh, yep. One of these guys. Oh, you found your boar. All right, so you guys always queuing villagers. Right now they're all going... You just made your 10th on berries. So the next one, are you going to have to do a house or go to the boar?
No, they're going actually to the wood. I don't do the 7th person on boar. I know a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do it that way. In the open map, I found that it's just so much more important to get the wood because you do have to wall up. That's another thing. Mm-hmm. In arena, obviously, we don't have to wall up. Mm-hmm. In open maps, you have to wall up. So it's so much more important to get the wood as early as possible to get the wall. So I don't do a 7th on the boar. I just do 6.
Yeah, and even like when I'm playing, I modify your build order. I actually do my lumberjacks even earlier than you do. So I mean, like, it all depends on which civs you like to play, and
the civs are important in this build. I mean,
the researches that you prioritize.
Yeah, for Sicilians, you want to get the wood first, just so you can build your buildings, and then after that, basically, you're shifting everybody to stone. Stone is super, super important for Sicilians for the donjons to be able to make the donjon. So, you know, I'm only doing wood enough for the farms and enough for the 4 other buildings I'm gonna have to build, and that's it.
Yeah, so like when you're at this point, viewers, where you've got about 20% of your map, when you've got your 6 sheep found, when you've got your 2 boars found, when you've found at least 1 vein of stone, 1 vein of gold, you've got your berries. Once you've found those core resources, now it's time to do what Sino's doing, and he's got his scout going corner to corner to corner and back home trying to find the enemy. You don't need to do more than that 20% before you send your scout to look for the enemy. So if you're ever wondering, when do I start looking for the enemy? As soon as you got 20% and your resources. Resources primarily. But to get those resources, generally 20% map exploration. Sound about right, Sino?
Yes.
So right now, you're just accumulating resources for feudal.
Yep.
Everybody is going to wood that you've made, with the exception of maybe shift queuing a house to somewhere else. So at this point of the game, you've got 4 houses when you're going into feudal.
And you can see on the west, I am building the 1 mining camp for the south.
So after 8 villagers, so 10 on food, 8 on wood, the next 2 go to stone.
Yep.
Really important aspects of the build order.
Yeah, and I actually probably was a little slow with walling up to this round. I should have been walling up a little bit faster.
Still worked.
Yeah.
Now, have you done any researches up to this point as part of your build order?
No research at all.
So you haven't even done loom?
Nope.
Okay.
No loom.
So Scout found you?
Yeah, so the Scout did find the base already.
What are you making?
So I don't know where to go at this point.
All right, so... Okay. Somewhere around here, I missed it. Your villagers stopped harvesting food and went to wood. Did you just do that because you were waiting for the boar gather?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want them to just idly sit under the towns that are doing nothing.
Right.
At least they can collect some wood.
Okay, let's see how this plays out now that you've got your that Eagle Scout there. All right, is your villager gonna survive? Whoa, no, he didn't. So
no, that one died.
So he took out 2 of your villagers in that rush, and that's where you're rebuilding them in your feudal. I honestly think with this strat, you really don't ever even need to go to castle. I mean, you're like, once you get this refined and cleaned up, I think with the Sicilian, you'll never ever need to go to castle, and your games will be over in 35 minutes.
Yeah.
This is a really great strat.
Yeah, and you can see there's still some people that are just randomly idle for some reason, like that girl that just built that house. Normally, they wouldn't just be sitting there idle.
Mm-hmm.
I might have been trying to decide what to do with that person at that point, but they normally aren't just sitting there doing nothing.
Now, I am kind of curious myself because, like, we're at 12:24 in the video right now. I'm starting my castle research typically with my 23 villager pop builds at between 2015 and 2025 right now. And I'm kind of wondering if it's advantageous because our builds are so similar up until this point, with the exception that I have more villagers.
I didn't do it because I wanted to make sure I was able to make the donjons attack, have resources where if they did come at me with something more drastic, I wouldn't be sitting waiting. Because let's be honest, once you do castle, you're down 200 gold, you're down 800 food.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of resources that could be used on just men that can attack and protect your donjons, or like to attack, people that can protect villagers or whatever. I mean, like there is a risk reward to all of it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure I had the resources. Also, at the time, I don't think I had enough wood to build my market and my blacksmith at the same time. That's why they're built actually differently, and in different spots, because I don't think I have the wood. I think I could be wrong on that, but it's resource management and like what is prioritizing. To me, when I tried to do Castle Age early in this particular build, the 4 other times I did it last week.
Yeah.
It left me with having resource issues when I'm trying to do the forward base. So I just said, you know what? It's more important for me to just be on the forward base, attack, micromanage that more importantly than get to castle. And my thing is if I get to castle, I do. Just naturally, but I'm not in a rush to get there.
Right.
Now that might be someone else's purview. Like you can obviously rush to get to castle if you want. That's just not the priority for me on this particular build.
Right. With this feudal donjon rush, I'm kind of wondering though, like what I think I might try is your general concept with the drops. But I think I'm gonna do mine like I would a castle drop, but I'm just not gonna go to Castle Age. I'm gonna keep all those resources for dropping donjons.
Yeah.
I think this will work every bit as good with a 23 pot build as it will with a 20 pot build.
Yeah, the only thing I do worry about with 23 pop, depending, is like in that early game, that early stage, every second counts.
Right.
And because I did it the second time, right? So this is the third time I did it in one. The second time I was a little slow because I was watching the clock too. And just that extra 2 or 3 people, it can make a difference as far as like how far ahead the AI is. Because on Extreme AI, they're constantly pumping out people too. So if you're not dropping that donjon as early as possible, it is a problem. Like it's not going to work. I've done it all last week and then 2 times even last night before. the third time, and it's just like it just isn't going to work unless you do it fast.
So here you go. You bring in 4 people over to drop that. Now I'm assuming that three of those were. Well, we can see. Looks like you took two from.
I took all of them from wood.
All of them from wood, and then the villagers you're making are spawning at wood. I see. Okay.
Yeah, because at that point, I wanted to prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to prioritize dropping the donjons more than just getting wood. At this point in the build, I don't need wood. I built my blacksmith. I built my marketplace. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need wood for anything else, except for the farms. So really, that's really it. I don't need more than that amount on wood to just rebuild those farms. Right. It's really not that big of a deal. I really need more people on wood and gold. So actually, if I would have done it over again, I would have probably taken, which I probably just did right now, I would have taken some people from wood and put them to gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is exactly how we said earlier, like with the donjons. You did your first donjon within view of the outermost building that you had in your Fog of War vision, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't know yet that the town center is right here. And I want to see like at what point that opens up and when that becomes a factor in your donjon placement.
Well, my factor in the donjon.
There we go. Now these guys are all running away.
So it wasn't where the town center was. That had nothing to do with where my donjon placement was. My donjon placement was specifically for killing villagers, getting resources. So I wanted to put a donjon along that tree line and obviously by that mill, so they can't get easy food. They have to build farms. Mm-hmm. And then I'm building the second donjon, as you can see, right next to their gold vein and that other tree line. So it really is cutting out so much of their resource production that, and obviously that one archer's trying to kill my donjon, good luck. Donjon's got 1,200 HP or something. Good luck with that. So it did happen, but no big deal really at the end of the day.
Right, and in the meantime, you really don't need a lot of troops very early at this point. So I can see that you put on your villager count is going up, so you're trying to manage your economy as well. You've already replenished some of your lumberjacks. You're fishing over here for food. Okay. Yeah, and even as players, we get our own version of Fog of War, right? You probably would have had more research, or more resources, had there not been as much idle villager time.
Yeah, and those are things I have to clean up. I mean, there's a lot of idle villager time. Those villagers that were eating the fish, I wanted them to go back to make, because I saw that the archers got into my build. Mm-hmm. I wanted them to go back, and this is when I actually built the gold mine. At that point, it was here's the archers. I said, you know what? I'm going to send everybody in farms back to the town center. Yeah. And just kill the villagers, and they did. That's exactly what they did. So you can see that there were some people in the town center.
Those archers killed 5 of your villagers. Right now, there's no villagers in the town center. It's empty.
Yeah, I'm sending them over to the town center to go in there now.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. You got your 4.
The ones that were cooking. Or maybe the ones that were... Yeah, I'm a little slow on the uptake here, but maybe, the ones that are going for the food. Yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm. And it only takes 2 seconds to kill those archers once you garrison in the town center, so no big deal there.
And over here, your donjons, those 2 are really doing exactly what you want them to. I'm at this point, they're not growing their economy. Once they stop growing their economy, I mean, it's not just that you're outpacing them anymore. They're just not growing, period. They're spending all of their resources on units that you're killing. So like this is where the game is won. At this point, you're just building your economy and adjusting your military. Like I would think my head at this point is I've won. Now I need to create military units to kill their villagers, and I need to create siege units to kill their buildings. And because you're not going to get much harassment at this point, you've halted their entire economy.
Yeah, and that's why I wasn't in a huge rush to even get to castle, because I'm like, you know what? Even in feudal, I am in full control. Like here I am building my third donjon. They're trying to build whatever up there. I fucked them up. This villager's about to die. Yep, he's dead.
Yeah, I don't think really there's much to add to the strategy at this point. Like you've got your 20 pot build. I want to try it myself with the 23 pot with the donjon drop strategy. If that's not working for me, I'm gonna cut it back and simplify it down to the 20 pot. But I think you got yourself a winner here, and I think anyone watching this that wants to get better at Age of Empires and wants to beat the extreme AI in an open map, this is your strat to start with.
Yeah, it just gives you, like, it's really a secret because you're giving, you're really giving yourself the biggest advantage in feudal that, like, other civs don't have. Like, all civs have some sort of advantages. Japanese have, like, the best, actual infantry in the game in feudal, but nobody has the ability to make an actual like castle-like structure in feudal and be able to make spearmen and their elite unit, the sergeants, in their guard tower. Like that is absolutely insane that you can do that, and that's a huge advantage. And I didn't even upgrade the sergeants. Like I could have given them forging to upgrade them so they'd be a little stronger, but I really felt I didn't want to like waste those I didn't want to waste the resources to do that because that's 220 food and 150 gold or 150 wood to upgrade the forging for the infantry, and that's just too costly early in the game.
Right.
And you don't really need it. I would rather spend the resources on bodkin arrow. So you obviously have to get fletching. Sorry, let's go over that with the viewers. The only upgrades I did was fletching and bodkin arrow. I didn't even get horse collar. I didn't get double axe. All I did was fletching and bodkin arrow, and that's enough to win.
I mean, that tracks, yeah, because your main military unit's the donjon, so you just got to upgrade your research is just improving your donjon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Your donjon's doing all the heavy lifting. So, like in the barracks, or blacksmith rather, yeah, there's no point in upgrading doing any cavalry upgrades at all. Like you're just focused on initially the arrows for the donjon, and then I'm sure after you start making your infantry from the donjon, then you can, if you want to add the research for that. I think the units themselves would be the most valuable. Like your sergeants and your your pikemen or spearmen or whatever.
Yeah.
Like those would be way more valuable than even the research for them because you've halted the enemy's economy. They're not cranking out military units.
No, and the important thing is keeping them in feudal. If they get to castle, it becomes a little bit harder, a little bit more dangerous because they do have access to siege weapons at that point. The biggest enemy to the donjons are the battery rams, for sure. If they get rams on the field, which the second time I did this build and I didn't do it, I didn't execute as well, they did have battery rams on the field, and that completely changes the strategy. Then you do have to build a lot more sergeants. You have to use a lot more resources to kill the rams because when they're shoving out rams, those rams can kill the donjons pretty fast.
Yeah.
So it's super, super important. You drop that donjon immediately. You start getting, and you drop it in wherever they are getting resources first. Because let's be honest, early in the game, just like anybody, for the viewers that don't know this, they all are gathering resources as fast as you are, essentially. So if, let's say, you drop a donjon, which I did, like right next to the lumber camp, it's going to cost a significant amount of resources for them to get enough wood again to build another lumber camp. It's a lot of resources to build these things. Mm-hmm. So you really just want to build the donjons wherever they're gathering gold, wherever they're getting wood, wherever their farms and mills are. Like, drop them right next to them, and that will make a huge difference. And you can see what I did. Yeah, I was just executed perfectly. I didn't really have to wall up even my entire base. Had I watched a little bit more of my base, those archers wouldn't have killed those 5 villagers, but at the same time, I wanted to put pressure on them and be offensive to their base.
And despite any errors, it worked, right? Like, you can nitpick and like what could have been better or whatever, but this works. Like, even a not perfect run, like maybe an 80% efficiency run, was effective, and I think that's a sign of a really good strat. That you don't have to be perfect for it to execute.
Yeah, you're 100% right. 100% right. And this was a strat that I talked with Corporal Punishment for a couple weeks now, as we knew that the patch was going to drop. And, I had tried it out a couple times and just, poorly executed completely. But now that I know, even like you said, executing 80%, the strategy 100% works. It's a huge advantage.
80% works 100% of the time.
Yeah. Well, the fact that I didn't have to waste resources on building a barracks or building an archery range or whatever, like, all I'm building are donjon, and that's enough. That's enough to kill.
Yep. I think they missed an opportunity. They really need to start calling them Don Ones. Dumb joke. I know. Well, anyway, I appreciate you taking us through that step by step. At this point, I feel like if I say too much more, add too much more, it's just beating a dead horse. You came up with a great plan. You executed it well. You've shown us how to do it, and I'm really looking forward to implementing what I learned in my gameplay. So thank you for joining us on Twitch. Sino, do you have anything to say before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I would just say the last thing about this strategy is, just really understand where the placements are of the donjons, and don't forget to always constantly have somebody on stone, because donjons are the name of the game for this civ. If you are not planning to use donjons, don't use this civ. They suck it for everything else.
True that. Don't forget the stone. Thanks again for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please give us a like and a subscribe.
Thank you, Corporal Punishment, for having me.
Yeah, always a pleasure having you, Sino. I'm looking forward to sharing our next strat again. Well, everybody have a good Easter week.